All right, let's get back at it. Flat for the day. Made a couple trades up and down. Got a nice push up here though. The 9-day moving average still rolling up. Let's see where it goes here. All right. Bookmap's pretty thin for this time of day. Well, headlines are coming out. Iran may run out of oil storage within weeks under the U.S. blockade pressure. Diego, good morning, brother. Thanks for coming in. How's your day going? Yeah, 132 subs. Got a bunch of subs yesterday. I wouldn't call that quick. But I'm happy. It's nice to see. Seems like more people tune in during the Asian session. Less competition. During the New York session, get barely people coming in. But that's alright. As long as Diego shows up, I'm good. Next week I'll be at 1,000. That'd be cool. 1,000 would be amazing. Rather have 200 subscribers like Diego though, than 1,000 just people that don't come into the chat. One Diego is worth 100 subscribers. Alright, I kind of feel like a long here now. 9-day moving average still moving up. Let's put an order in. Let's put a stop just right by the 9-day. The market is just so resilient, just never goes down. Sold a couple more long terms today. Qualcomm sold a couple of those. Sold a couple of my Eli Lillies. A few shares of Google. Let's see if we get this push. See 500 at least. Test that again. Couple points. You made 250 yesterday and locked my account. Perfect. Perfect, buddy. Killing it, Diego. What are you up now? Like 2,200 on your Express account? $24.50. Nice. That's amazing. And that was quick too, like 3 days, $2,400. That's a great weekly wage. That's for sure. I'm just gonna get out of that. Still see this going up to at least 520 maybe. But the book map's kind of thinning out. Maybe expecting a new headline coming out. Israel prepares to announce the failure of negotiations with Iran. Ooh. Angia. Thanks for coming in. I love you, brother. Angie, are you in any trades right now? Well, let me know. Had a nice push up here last hour. 150 points. Wild. M&Q's up 0.6%. Qualcomm's up 15%. Even MicroStrategy's up 4%. John Deere's up 5.5%. Man, there's some big moves today. Meta's down almost 10%. Microsoft's down 5.5%. Nvidia's down 4%. That's if these guys start making a move up, we might see a big push on NQ. Pakistan officials, we expect a new Iran proposal this week. So we got a couple of headlines coming out. They don't seem positive, but the market keeps going up. Might be just short coverings. Okay, now we got a huge order. 500 contracts at 27,510. Let's see if that gets filled. Angie, I can't. This is the max. I can't turn up the volume. Unless I'm doing something wrong, I don't know. But I got that on full. I don't really yell into the mic. But I can move the mic a little bit closer, but then you're going to hear my breathing, which is annoying. Maybe I'll upgrade my audio eventually. Maybe this weekend. Buy a couple headsets. Carlos in the house. How you doing, brother? I'm doing all right. Pretty much flat for the day. Made a couple trades. Up $400 on a practice account, but only up $34 on my XFA. How's your trading going, Carlos? In any positions right now? And Angie, I'll figure out a better way, to get the audio up. Because there's a couple people that told me, it's like, yeah, the audio's very low. Alright, we're still pushing up. We got 500 contracts at 27,510. And it's still there. They haven't removed it. Qualcomm, Eli Lilly, and Google are up like 10%. Qualcomm's up 15%. That's huge. Carlos doing great. Took advantage of the volatility this morning. Up 12K for the day. Wow. Carlos killing it over there. 12K. Amazing. Let's give it up for Carlos. Angie's up 6K on Asia in London session. Well, that's amazing, guys. You guys are killing it. Probably best to just lock out and call it a week. 6K and 12K. Wow. And Gia missed along on the New York market. Already wrapped up for today. Perfect. Once you have like a big day, just lock yourself out. Go enjoy the day. Since this is the end of the week, probably even skip Friday. What's an extra couple $100 when you made like 6K, 12K in one day? That's insane. Yeah, Carlos, you don't want to give that back to the market. You definitely don't want to give that back to the market. There you go. How many contracts will make 6K? I gotta ask Carlos and Angie for that. It's morning in Hong Kong now. I'm about to sleep very soon. I will stay here a little bit and join Butcher's stream on the evening. Oh, Angie, you watch Market Butcher? Yeah, he's a cool guy. He actually lives near me. He's a fellow Canadian. Wow, Carlos, 5 contracts, 5 minis? That's wild. Well, you made the right trade today, Carlos. Carlos killing it. Still got that 500 contract at 27,510. Only 10 points away from that. Looks like he wants to take it out. Do we blast through or just reject? Alright, here's the move. And okay, it got pulled before it got filled. They pulled those 500 contracts. And yeah, you actually know me from him. And subscribe to your channel. Sweet. Yeah, Market Butcher's a nice guy. Alright, we're pulling up now. They just took away that 500 contract order. Let's see if they put it back in somewhere. Still rolling up. Carlos with the minis. 5 minis. That's huge. That's huge, Carlos. Well, it's nice to see people in the chat that made a bunch of money yesterday, or today, I mean. That's great. My $34 is enough to get some lunch. And it's still going up. I kind of want to chase it. I'm just going to go into a practice account and chase it. Hopefully get a push back now. But oil's coming down as well. Had a bunch of volume come into oil. Equities are still pretty much coming. Kind of flat. Nvidia's at 200 bucks. Still down 4% for the day though. Trump is expected to sign the DHS funding bill on Thursday. AI is not making lethal decisions. Anthropic is run by an ideological lunatic. Alright, we're getting a bunch of headlines. Expect more. Seems like talks are breaking down. This could be a bull trap. You push down at the end of the day here. Got a couple hours left in the New York session. If you're watching, subscribe and like. I'd really appreciate it. Join the chat if you can. What are these headlines? White House advisor sacks. Mythos is not a doomsday device. What the heck is Mythos? Anybody even know what Mythos is? Oh, it's an anthropic thing. Interesting. AI is getting involved in wars now. Diego, smash the like. Yeah, baby. Diego, the real one. Let me know if anyone's going into any positions. But this run up is kind of scary to just keep adding to longs. So we have the practice running right now. But with the 9-day moving average moving up like that, VWAP is down at 27,370. And it's kind of getting flat. Slowly going up, but pretty much flat. Take a look at my chart here. Like VWAP is essentially flat, and we've pushed up really fast. But the markets are definitely unpredictable. It's hard to say which way it wants to go. We haven't had too many pullbacks. We're up hard, man. From the lows, we're up like 300 points. Oil's down 3% for the day. MNQ's up 0.7%. Alright, we're just gotta wait for new headlines, I guess. They'll pop up on the left here. Marine traffic's probably still dead. Oh, this guy coming through? Got a Pakistani oil tanker leaving the strait. Got an Iranian container ship coming in through the strait. Still got tons of people. Tons of anchored ships everywhere. All right, let's see if we just keep pushing up here, or at least get a pullback. Let's pull a fib here. The golden pockets at like 27,457. Maybe get a pullback there. 50, 60 points. Nade's Trades in the house. Thanks for stopping by, brother. How are you doing? How's your trading going today? We got Carlos up like 6 grand. Angie's up like 3 grand. Oh, no, sorry. Angie's up 6 grand. So people making money today. That's amazing. And I'm up 400. Actually, no, sorry. I'm up like $30 on an XFA, you know? Better than being negative. And we're still pushing up. Crazy markets. Hard to tell what it's going to do, but it's just going up. Scariest thing to do is short. Angie, are you talking to me? If I have a Tradeify account? If so, I do not. I'm just using Top Step. Oh, Diego has one. There you go. Got some Tradeify homies. All right. Okay. There's a 700 contract order now at 27,540. Now, is that going to be a magnet? We got 716 contracts at 27,540. They pulled it before. They had it at 510. They pulled it before it got executed. And Gia tried Top Step a long time ago, but then changed to Tradeify, super fast payouts and easy and simple. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, I took a payout like a week or two ago. It didn't take long. They approved it within a day, and it hit the bank in like 48 hours. So they're getting better at that. But nice to see people taking payouts. Okay, here we go. Another headline. Iran's president and Iran's parliament speaker are dissatisfied with the manner in which diplomacy is being conducted, particularly the nuclear negotiations, and are calling for his dismissal, citing 2 informed sources. White House advisor sacks Mythos is not a doomsday device. All right, we're getting headlines, guys, so be careful out there. It's probably not a good time to over leverage, or we're making another move up here. Now there's only 458 contracts now. So they pulled half their contracts. 457, 455. Looks like they might pull them before it even hits. But it's acting like a mag. Okay, they pulled it. They pulled their contracts. And they moved them up to 575 now. About 700 contracts. Man, what's going on? There's a big player spoofing the market right now. I'm trying to bring this up. Nades, you messaged me on Discord? Yeah, I don't have notifications on my phone. I have to open up Discord to find out. Still learning about that. So my bad. Oh yeah, I see your message. Alright, we're still pushing up. That's amazing. Do we take the risk here? Oh, they pulled those trades up there too. Yeah, someone's spoofing the market. They're putting in huge orders, like 500-700 contracts. I don't want to take a couple points off this market here. This is chasing. Getting negative news. There's no reason for it to pump. I think I should probably go touch some grass. Kind of feeling that FOMO, if you know what I mean. Maybe the next little dip we get, I'll put in a micro. Tight stop. If we even get a red candle. Look at it go. Wow. Last like 20 minutes, we're up like 75 points. Okay, Nade's trade. So I got your message there. I'll look into it. Maybe set it up for a Sunday stream. That'd be cool. Man, I'm still pushing up. Look at it go. Wow. Oh, God. Look at it go. Now I'm feeling the FOMO. All right, we're putting an order in. Come on, push it. If it doesn't push, I'm going to get out. This is just a cheeky trade. Trying to get a couple points, you know? All right, it hit that zone where they had like 750 contracts. Is he going to blast through? And okay, I'm just going to put a stop. I think it's time to touch grass. I'm chasing. All right, touching grass. My bad. Don't copy what I'm doing, that's for sure. Man, I should probably just get out of here. Take the 30 bucks. Get myself some Starbucks. And a bagel or some. Here it comes back down. Alright. Whatever. We're not going to lose anything on that trade. I'm chasing. I need to go touch grass. I'm FOMOing right now. I'll be back. All right, touch some grass. Let's see what's going on. All right, good. Didn't chase it. Now we're breaking down a little bit. That was a quick push up. But the 9 days still pointing up. Still a risky short and a long right now, to be fair. VWAP's still way down there. Got Nvidia pushing down as well. Google's pushing down. Still up 9.5% for the day though. That's huge. Just put in a practice trade. Risk 45 bucks. 1-to-1 trade would be around here. The bottom of this big candle. Man, we got 550 contracts at 27,060. Oh, sorry, 27,600. Someone's playing around with the market right now. Nade trades, kind of pissing me off. No doubt. It's hard to read right now, man. It's moving up and down quick. And oil's trying to make a push up. What's the latest headline? No new headlines. It's always good to check out what Trump's talking about on Truth Social. Usually shows up in the financial juice here on the left. 1 minute ago. Okay. Trump's congratulating people. Nothing major on Truth Social. All right, we got the 9-day trying to push down now. Like 49 minutes away from power hour. Let's go. See what happens. Nades, are you in a trade right now or just watching? Hopefully Angie and Carlos are locked out. Got some big wins today. It's amazing. If anyone's watching, please subscribe. Appreciate that. Come into the chat, say what's up. $27,600. Still a bunch of orders there. 600 contracts. 553 contracts. All right, let's cut that. Shorting this market is just risky. The way it's moving. Well, we got 5 people watching. That's amazing. Appreciate that. Oil's trying to push up the same time NQ's trying to push up. No new headlines. Let's just refresh this. Yeah, no new headlines. Qualcomm up 15%. Eli Lilly up 10%. Google's up 9.6%. John Deere's up 5.5%. It's amazing. I sold a couple of Google. I sold a couple of Google and Eli Lilly and Qualcomm today. I've been selling my long terms for the last couple of days here, but I was probably better off just holding them. Glad I sold some Meta the other day. That's down 7.75%. So look at this run up. That's amazing. It's record highs every day, guys. All-time high. So difficult to trade that. People keep shorting and then they got to keep buying and the price keeps going up. But look at this 1 minute candle. That's 33 points. So it takes 1 minute to move 33 points. Probably not the best time to get into a trade, honestly. Still the 500 contracts at 27,600. All right, let's see if we get this push up. There it goes. She gone again. VWAP's still curling up. It's pretty much flat, but it's technically coming up. Not that fast. Man, what a market, dude. How do you trade this? Just keep buying until you get liquidated? I don't know, man. This is wild. Do we see a double top? Probably not. It's a 1 minute chart. We got a V and a double top. Still got 555 contracts right now at 27,600. They've done this the last couple of times. They started at like 510, moved it up to 550. Now they're at 600. They're not letting those orders get filled though. They pull it before it even goes there. Oh, my mic was off. Yeah, I was just trying to put some entertainment into the stream because there's only 4 people watching now. 3. Now only 2 people watching. They didn't want to see that. All right, won't do that again. Carlos, no more trading till Monday. Yeah, that's honestly a good plan. Or just use a practice account, you know? Just use a practice. Diego, LOL. Diego's LOLing me. Come on, Diego. Stop laughing at me, bro. Oh, you'll be laughing at the market. Okay. Well, we're consolidating right now. Do we stay in a zone like this? Break down or up? Let's see. Yeah, the market's pretty irrational right now, that's for sure. We got oil pushing up here. Let's see if you see a dump. It's put in a short. Shorting the bottom of the zone's not the best play usually. But I want to see some momentum down. Like, come on. Are they just going to let the bulls make money all day? Like, come down to this area at least. 500, 27,500. Take out a bunch of these longs. Or are the shorts just feeling this pump right here? It's insane. Still got 584 contracts at 27,600. I think it's the same guy. He's been doing it all day. Or for the last like 2 hours at least. 586 contracts. That's huge. All right, let's see. So if you break down, might see some support. This could be some support levels, these yellow lines. If it wants to break down. All right, bounce right off that zone that I had drawn out. 9-day moving average curling down. That's bearish. VWAP's way down at. It's curling up a little bit harder though. To 27,380. Oil's pumping up. Wow. Well, 5 people are watching. Subscribe. Did I get any subscribers? Let's check that out. Apparently that's what it's all about. I care more about like people coming into the chat. But apparently you're supposed to get a bunch of subscribers. All right, we're still kind of breaking down. All right, looks like it wants to push down. But will it? Market is so resilient. Okay, oil's making a push up. Should break down. Let's test this support down here that I have at 27,543. Still got 582 contracts at 27,600 on the NQ. That's huge. At this point, I'd probably just stop out. Or like just put a stop at break even. It's not making the move I wanted. All right, getting stopped out here, looks like. That's fine. We're not taking too much risk today. We had a couple of people. I think Angie made like 6 grand. Carlos made like 3. So some people having nice days today. That's amazing to see and hear about. Love that. I'm up $39.42. Better than being down. Not seeing the market real well today, so I don't want to get too leveraged into a trade. There you go. Got stopped out. So kind of respected the channel over here. Maybe we see nice move up to 586. Well, we still got those 580 contracts at 27,600. The way it's going, they've been like chasing it up. All right, wicked right into that circle that I drew. I think it's time to touch grass. What time is it? 11:30. We got 30 minutes until power hour. 90 minutes until New York session close. U.S. Treasury Secretary Besant, amid impact of economic fury. Now it's called economic fury. Wow. Iran's currency hits all-time lows. Okay. WTI crude June future settles at $105.07. A barrel down $1.81. All right, wicked up to the range. And oil's coming up. I mean, this could be a short. Okay, now we're pushing up. Great. Still got that 582 contracts. Looks juicy up there. Carlos called it a week. Made a couple $1,000. Let's go, buddy. That's the way to do it. That's how the pros do it. You know, you have a good day or a good 2 days in a week and you just call it a week, man. Make enough money that average people, like, you make enough money in 1 day to cover the whole month? Take and leave. Hopefully Carlos and Angie take a payout today too. Reward yourself. Well, I got 5 likes. Appreciate that, guys. It's awesome of you guys. But no new subscribers. That's sad. But this time of day, there's too many people streaming. I can't even compete with the OGs. If anyone knows how to get new subscribers, let me know. Or maybe I need like a team to help me out. I'm a one-man job right now. One-man gig. Just started like 3 weeks ago. Streaming. Alright, we're in the bottom of the hour. Approaching power hour. 1 minute at a time. Carlos. Are you going live tonight? Probably, yeah. I don't have like a proper schedule. I gotta figure that out too. Needs to be a proper schedule so people know. Right now I'm just winging it. And gee, I can't even hear me, so I gotta upgrade my microphone. I'm not sure if the microphone's gonna help increasing the volume. I think it has to be down on the viewer's end. We'll figure that out though. Well, it's the last day of April. April's been amazing for equities. Like, just take a look. Look at this monthly candle. Like, have you seen anything like this before? Look at that candle, man. That's an insane candle. Let's measure that candle. We're talking about like 4,000 points. Hold on. Let's measure that properly. 3,600 points in 1 month. That's amazing. Amazing. Buy and hold. That's the winning strategy. You just keep buying and holding. All right, let's see if we hold this zone here. Oh, God. Okay, there you go. I'm out. Just got stopped out. And new highs. Wow. Kind of want to get in long right here. All right, you know what? I'm just going to go touch grass. I'm kind of FOMOing again. Everyone, go touch some grass and take a breath. Take a deep breath. Let's not chase. I'll be back. All right, touching grass doesn't look like it made a difference. Still playing around here. Wow. This market is amazing. Just keeps going up. See a range like that, or are we going to break out of that too? Still got that huge order at 27,600. All right, let's see if the 9-day moving average starts coming down with the price. We're up almost a 1% on the M&Q. All right, do we see a pullback here? We're 15 minutes away from power hour. We'll have the MOC on the left here when it comes out. So like an hour away from that. And that order's still there at 600. But Carlos, yes, I'll be live tonight. All right, it looks like she still wants to go up. That's amazing. Check out the top step tilt. CL, 68% long on CL. Everything else is like 50. Actually, ES is short, 63%. Interesting. All right, let's see if it gets this push. Like this is the high of the zone here. If you're playing it properly, would be a short. But we've just been pumping. The trend's up. Going against the trend is always a bad idea. Oh, we only got 2 people watching.
Maybe it's time to have some lunch.
All right, I'm still here. I'm just gonna grab some lunch. All right, let's see if this is the move here. Angie, a nice short. That's a 2-1. Probably just move the stop into profit here at this point. See if price action remains in this box or we break out one way or the other. All right, broke out of the little box a little bit, wicked out. See if it hops back in. All right, got stopped out. Broke out of the box, got a wick out. See if this is a reversal and we just keep pumping. All right, we're gonna push up now. And yeah, do I use the 1 minute chart? I usually just have that up for for like entering trades, but I like looking at the 5, the 15, the 1 hour, 4 hour, and the daily. I'll take a look at all of them, but I trade on the 1 minute. So if I'm entering and exiting trades, it's usually on the 1. Oh, there we go. Here we go. We're getting some movement here. See if that's a headline. Trump praises Japan for investing more in the U.S. Looks like a headline candle right there. All right, still in this box. Trump, new tweets, new stock market highs, despite what some call a war. Iran's drone and missile factories are significantly down. Well, I got a bunch of news from Trump. That's what that reaction was. Still neutral, I guess. He didn't say anything major. But it's seeming more and more likely a deal is not being made between Iran and America. Trump on Iran. We'll see what happens. All right, we're working out of the box. Some wild action right now. Be careful. All right, we're still pumping here. Wow. Trump, nobody knows who Iran's leaders are. All right, we're breaking out of the zone. That's insane. We're in power hour. Trump, I don't know if we need a deal with Iran. Wow. And this is making the market pump, eh? Wow. Trump, I don't know if we need a deal with Iran. We might need a deal with Iran. What's going on here? Trump's going wild. Oh, Trump's talking right now, too, huh?
Now, right outside, we have something that's on time, on budget,
All right,
actually
let's
ahead
let
of time,
Trump talk.
and ahead of budget depending on finishes. You know, finishes is a big difference between marble and onyx. in price, but it's right on budget, right on time. And that's built to the highest standards of security. No units on top, no hotel built on top where an elevator comes right down through the middle of it. It's a tough location. That's a tough location. So I think, I know the people at Secret Service, I think they're great. And I think the Congress has to take care of those people. You know, we're talking about ICE, we're talking about Border Patrol, Secret Service, everyone. The Democrats essentially want to defund the police, just so you know. That's right. They want to defund law enforcement. It's crazy. These people have gone crazy. I heard Hakeem Jeffries, a low IQ person. He's a very low IQ, screaming today that the Supreme Court is illegitimate. I mean, that's a dangerous statement. Then if I say something modest, they say, oh, he's a king, he's a king. They're sick. But Hakeem Jeffries said the Supreme Court is illegitimate. That's a rough statement. If I made that statement, it would be the biggest story out there. Bad things would happen.
One of the ideas. The average price of a gallon of gas is now $4.30 in this country.
And you know what? And we're not going to have a nuclear weapon in the hands of Iran. The gas will go down. As soon as the war's over, it'll drop like a rock. There's so much of it. It's all over the place, sitting all over the oceans of the world. And it'll go down. But what won't happen is if Iran had a nuclear weapon and used it, then the whole world is a different place. You're not going to have to pay a little bit more for gasoline. The gasoline, the oil will go down rapidly as soon as the war is over.
Good to see you again, sir. I've got two questions. First, I want to follow up on Daniel's question. I've described you as the peacemaker. You're achieving peace around the world. Due to these latest policies, big beautiful bill, no tax on tips, no tax on Social Security, no tax on overtime, now the Trump account, and then the IRA account. Could we describe you as the wealth maker?
Well, I'm helping people out. It's a nice question, actually, but I'm helping people. These people are with me. You know, these are great people, and feel free to speak up if you'd like, because they wanted this to happen, and we got it done. And they're Republican people, I think, in all cases, right? In all cases. It's crazy. We need, like, always unanimous, because the Democrats, they will vote against anything, no matter how good. If they had their favorite thing in the world, and we happen to want it, but we found a new strategy. We're going to oppose every single thing that we want, and we'll get unanimous votes. So I'm going to come up and oppose everything, Brian, from this point forward, and they'll vote for it. Go ahead.
Second question. You created Space Force on the second end, towards the end of your first administration. Right. You just had the Artemis II crew in here. I know it's a big accomplishment. What do you see moving forward, the duration of your administration in terms of space exploration? I know that was a big moment for you.
Well, doing Space Force, I think it's going to go down as one of my more important things. It's turning out. Even a lot of these great military operations that we have right now, when you look at Venezuela, when you look at like the decimation of Iran, which was considered powerful, it was the bully of the Middle East. And a lot of that took place so effectively because of what's coming out of space. When we did Space Force, when I did Space Force, I'm very proud of it, space was like, we were third. China was first, Russia was second. Now we've leapfrogged. We're way ahead of China, we're way ahead of Russia. And we made some great choices. The first person that headed Space Force, and really after that we had a couple of really great people heading it. Always very important. And a new person is heading it now. I think he has a chance to be as good as anybody, as good as, maybe better, I don't know. But we've had great people heading up Space Force. It's been very important. It's been very important for what we're doing with respect to the different places. And as far as peace, I settled 8 wars. And people try and dispute it, but then they go over them. And almost in every case, they sent letters thanking me and letters to the Nobel Committee. I don't care about that. Maria was very nice. She gave me her Nobel Peace Prize because she said she didn't deserve it. She was very, very nice. But I settled 8 wars. And in every case, the people, the prime ministers or presidents wrote letters thanking me. In the case of India, look, the biggest one would have been Pakistan, India. The Prime Minister of Pakistan said, I saved from 30 to 50 million lives, but it could have been more than that. Two nuclear nations were going at it. 11 airplanes were shot down. They were in the first week of what would have been a very bad war, and I got it solved. You know how I got it solved? By the use of tariffs. I said, I'm going to charge you tariffs if you guys keep fighting, and they said, oh, please don't do that.
You just lifted the tariffs, right? You just lifted some tariffs on whiskey, is that correct?
Yeah, what I'm doing is for as long as I've been here, they've wanted to, Kentucky, which is a great place, and I also won, Jason, by a lot. But Kentucky, with the bourbon, and Scotland with the whiskey, and they've had trade for years and years and years, and a lot of restrictions, a lot of different restrictions took place that didn't amount to much, and it really stopped them. I don't know if you know, it's a barrel trade. They use the barrels from the one to take care of the other, and the barrels are only good for one unit. In other words, they can't be used twice. They can only be used once, but the once makes it a better substance. I'm not a big drinker, so forgive me, but it makes them a big substance and a better taste. But they dealt for years. This was Scotland and Kentucky, mostly Kentucky. And I just took all the restrictions off, so Scotland and Kentucky can start dealing again. And I did it in honor of the king and queen who just left. They're heading back. And it was a big deal. They've been trying to get this for a long time.
Yes, you talked about possibly pulling out some troops out of Germany. Would you be considering the same thing for Spain and Italy? I mean, they haven't been exactly on board.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I probably will. Why should I? Look, why shouldn't I? Italy has not been of any help to us. And Spain has been horrible. Absolutely horrible. It's NATO. It's not even the fact that they're bad. It's one thing if they said nicely, or if they said, okay, we'll help, but the help's a little slow. But the level, and we helped them with Ukraine. They made a mess out of Ukraine, a total mess. And we helped them with Ukraine. Ukraine has nothing to do, we're an ocean apart. It has to do with them. It's like for them, it's their front door. We help them. And Biden gave them $350 billion, which was insane. It's one of the reasons the war went on. But when we needed them, they were not there. We have to remember that. And so if we ever have a big one, because we didn't need any help with Iran. We had Iran right from the first day. It was over. It was over.
Now we're still pushing
And
up.
now it's even more so. We're so locked and loaded if we want to do. But we didn't need the help. And to a certain extent, I asked them, I didn't need the help, but I said, yeah, we'd love to have you help because I wanted to see if they do it. And they, in all cases, they said, we don't want to get involved. And the amazing thing is they use the Strait of Hormuz. We don't. We don't use it. We don't need it. We have a lot of oil. Well, wait a minute.
Oh.
And they use it, we don't. And you would have thought they would have said, we would love to help you. But they didn't, which I think was a very... And Germany, he's doing a terrible job. He's got immigration problems. He's got energy problems. He's got problems of all kinds. And he's got a big problem with Ukraine because they're in that mess. And he criticized me for doing the whole thing with Iran. But I said, would you like to have a nuclear weapon in the hands of Iran? He said, no, I don't. I said, well, then I guess I'm right. He didn't have any answer to that. The bottom line is for this world, for our country, but certainly for Israel, the Middle East, and Europe, much closer, you cannot let Iran have a nuclear weapon. And if you agree that Iran can't have a nuclear weapon, which most people agree, almost everybody, it should have been done a long time ago. But if you agree they can't have a nuclear weapon, then what I did has been executed perfectly because our military has decimated them. Yeah, please go ahead.
Mr. President, two questions for you. Lita Shirazi from the Daily Mail. You have called this the new regime before in Iran, but I speak to Iranians on a daily basis, and they tell me that these are the same people that have murdered them, executed them, repressed them. I talked to them through the blackout, and they wanted me to ask you this question. And second of all, Secretary of State Marco Rubio, how come he's not involved in these conversations?
Oh, he's very much involved. Marco is he's negotiating with them all the time. Now look, Iran killed 42,000 people over the last 2 months, protesters. They were going to kill 8 women whose lives I saved, and I appreciate that they didn't do it. I asked them not to do it. They didn't do it. They were getting ready to hang the women. They were going to hang 8 beautiful women that were, I mean, it just caught the imagination.
Order
of
filled.
A lot of people were talking about it. You know, it was inconceivable. You saw those 8 beautiful people, and they were going to be executed that evening. This was a week ago. And I got
All
on
right,
the
just
phone
put it
very
along.
quickly, and I said, don't do it, don't do it. The whole world is watching, don't do it. And they didn't do it. I appreciate it. I guess
Stop.
4 were released, and the other
Oh man,
4 are
I'm
going
gonna
to be
practice.
released in a month.
Oops.
They were
Order
ready to be
filled.
executed that night. So they take a tough, you know, they knocked out the wrestler they killed. They killed the wrestler's teammates. He was a world champion wrestler too. He was a great wrestler, great talented wrestler. They killed him because he protested. He spoke. He wasn't wrestling. What he did is he spoke negatively about the regime, and they killed him. They executed him along with his friends. They killed 42,000 people. So when you say about, they say that I do...
About
I don't really
625
say- I'm
contracts
trying to-
at 26,
I'm trying to save that country in a certain
27,650.
way, and, nobody's ever seen that. Think of it. They killed 42,000
Trump's still talking.
innocent, not weapon-carrying people for protesting. 42,000. And the number they say is a lot higher than that. There's a rough group, but we have decimated them. And their economy is a disaster. So we'll see how long they hold out. We'll see.
President Trump, Saudi Arabia is pulling the plug on Live Golf. Once that tour is gone, do you think the PGA Tour should welcome the defectors back with open arms?
Well, I do. It's a great question. In fact, if I had time, I'd love to watch television today because the PGA Tour is playing at Doral, the Cadillac Championship. And I said, who's winning? I don't get a chance. I can't even look at
Jordan
it.
Spieth was in the lead
Who
earlier.
is?
Jordan Spieth.
Oh, that's good. He's good. Great guy. Good putter, to put it mildly, right? He's a very great guy. Chipper putter. No, it's they're at my tournament right now, the PGA. In 2 weeks, Liv is going to be at my course right here in the Potomac. No, I'd love to see Liv, but I do believe that all of the golfers should be playing, the great golfers should be playing against each other. I do believe, you know, it's sort of, they were viewing something as a monopoly, but it's in a way, it should be the opposite of a monopoly. I want to see Rory playing Bryson DeChambeau. I want to see Big John Rahm playing Scotty, who's so great, right? Scotty Scheffler is great. And I want to see him play John Rahm and Bryson and all the different guys. They have great players on the Live. But it's almost like people want to see that. That's why the Masters was so good, because you saw everybody together. Patrick Reed played great. You know, he's on Live and he played great. And they all did. They all played. They're great players. I play with them. They're very good. When I think I'm a good player and then I play with them, I don't think I'm that good. You know? But there's something nice about all of the players playing together. Now they'll all be accepted by the tour. There's no question, because they're great. If they weren't, you know, the tour really will. The tour wants to have the best player. You can't have the best player that they're boycotting. Now they may do something, you know, a little bit, but they'll all be back on tour and it'll be great. And you know, having one tour. Now I don't know that what's happening with Liv. I'm not sure what's happening with Liv, but they are playing in my course 2 weeks on the Potomac. Beautiful course. But right now they're playing at Doral, which I own, and if we end this early, I'll be able to watch for about 3 minutes before I get back onto the economy and every other subject that we have, including Iran. We're doing so well with Iran, so I think so.
I just want to
Yeah,
follow
please,
up.
yes.
Thank you so much, Mr. President. Jennifer Schonberger with Yahoo Finance. Question on clarification of the Trump IRAs versus a regular IRA.
Right.
Does it come down to the difference of a federal match? Who
All
would
right, now we're
qualify
gonna
for
push
that?
down.
And secondly, do you have any reaction to Fellow Reserve Chair Jay Powell staying on
Was that the
Board of
high?
Governors? Were you prepared to take any action?
We're 30
No,
minutes
I don't
away
care. If he stays on, he stays on. That doesn't, I just wanted to make sure that Kevin became the head.
from session
It's
close.
very unusual that they stay on, you know. I predicted he would, because, you know, who's gonna hire him, frankly? So I predicted he would stay on. But, you know, he's a negative, I think he's a negative force. The thing that angered me about him more than interest rates was the fact that he could allow a building to cost billions of dollars more than it was. I could have built that building, I could have renovated and fixed that building, which is what I do. I always did well with it, for $25 million. They're gonna spend maybe $4 billion. It's not even close to being opened. You know, Kevin, who's gonna be fantastic, I don't know if he's gonna have an office. I'm gonna have to put him right here. I'm gonna give him that, we'll cut the oval in half. I'll give him half of the oval. No, it's, I think, I'm very happy about Kevin. I think he's a star. And the other Kevin, we're gonna talk to you. Could you answer her question?
Yeah, sure. It's a great question, and the match is a super important part of it, and it's one reason why we're calling on our friends here to potentially expand it, so that right now the match is capped at $35,000, but there's a whole academic literature that this match has a big effect on people's willingness to save and their long-run welfare. And so the differences really are the match. We're creating the TrumpIRA.gov website, so it'll be really, really easy for people to have access to private companies that have to follow the TSP rules that are really low cost and so on, so that they'll get the best possible investment. And finally, you've noticed that Michael Dell has given money, promised money for the Trump accounts. We've also made it clear that the Trump IRA charities can contribute to other people's accounts as
And I
well.
imagine this will boost the stock market and economy
Oh,
further.
yeah.
Do you want to mention phase 2? We're doing phase 1 today because I can do that without Congress, but phase 2 is going to be something would be unbelievable. Do you want to just give a little
Sure.
summation? We'll be going back to Congress to ask for this.
Right, so the basic headline is that if you look at the huge success of Australia in their retirement savings accounts, that we're working with the Treasury Secretary, he and I, and Jason Smith and other members of Congress to come up with something that's pretty close or in the direction of the Australian system.
Or better.
Or better.
No, they had a couple of little glitches that we'll get rid of.
But there's absolutely no contemplation of harming Social Security in any way. This is meant to be an add-on to that.
It'll be very exciting. It's going to be great. We'll be pretty quick, pretty fast. We're going to move pretty fast.
Can I follow up?
Something that we talked about, something that we talked about a couple weeks ago. There's all these missing scientists who had access to classified material. A
Man,
bunch of them have turned up.
where did we get in here?
They're either missing or they have turned up dead.
Probably better
Have
not
you
to
been
get in,
briefed yet
honestly.
about whether or not these
Looking for a
cases are
breakdown.
connected?
Yeah, I have.
And can you tell us if they are connected?
Well, so far, I mean, they're individual. We have a lot of scientists, so when you see, you know, you put together 10, it's a lot, but it's, you know, a very small number compared to what overall. We have a lot of scientists. I was asking that question. Thousands, hundreds of thousands of scientists. So, no, some of them that we looked at are very sad cases in some cases. Some were sick. Some left this earth self-inflicted. Some had other things. So far, there's not a major, you know, sometimes there's a little bit of a connection anyway, and you say, oh, this is a terrible thing. But so far, we're finding that there's not much of a connection. We'll let you know. We're going to be doing a full report on it. It's very serious stuff.
Mr. President, follow up on my question earlier. Have you been informed if the Secret Service agent who was shot on Saturday, if that was from friendly fire or if it was from the suspect?
Well, they say it was not friendly fire.
So you're hearing that it's from?
Well, that's what I heard. I mean, I heard that. They said it wasn't friendly fire.
Okay,
It was actually reported. You read the reports because it was actually reported.
Yes, sir, I read through the DOJ memo.
Yeah, but, well, then why do you ask me the question?
I don't believe it said that the agent was struck by.
I'm just saying they said it wasn't friendly fire.
And he
meaning
hasn't been charged
It wasn't
yet.
us.
Okay, and he hasn't been charged yet with that. Of course, that could come. I want to follow up on the security changes.
Is there talks about you potentially wearing a bulletproof vest moving forward, given you have now been shot at?
I don't
so
know if I
many
can
times?
handle looking 20 pounds heavier. These guys, they look so good. Some of these guys are physical specimens. Some of these guys are trouble. Get him away from me. I don't want to be near him. No. If you want to gain 20 to 25 pounds, get a vest. And Liv, frankly, the vest did an amazing job because it took a bullet close up. And he didn't even want to go to the hospital. I mean, we sent him to the hospital just in case, but he didn't want, still a hit. But he didn't want to go to the hospital. The vest totally protected him. Still a lot of power behind that shot, though. That's like getting hit by Mike Tyson. But it's amazing. I've been asked about that, and I guess it's something you consider. In one way, you don't like to do it because you're giving into a bad element, and so I don't know. But I have been asked about it.
How nervous are you about it happening again, another assassination attempt?
I don't think about it.
You don't think about it at
And
all?
if I did, I wouldn't be doing a very good job here. I'd be thinking about nothing but that. I don't think about it. I don't think about it. If I did, I wouldn't be effective. Okay.
Mr. President,
Right.
real quickly, you pushed on True Social, calling on Senate Republicans to blow up the filibuster. It is a big issue with MAGA. MAGA wants you to get rid of it.
They should
Why
do
don't
it.
you do it?
Why don't they do it?
I don't know.
I have no idea. You know why, I guess? Because they have 3 or 4 that are like hard line. The same ones that are hard line, no to everything. And if you don't have all of them, we have a very small majority.
JP Farms, someone else was saying
I
that
said
too.
to him, John, just go take the vote. Let's expose who the people are.
I mean, my volume's
But, if we got rid of the
100% now.
filibuster,
I'm not saying
we
anything
could
right now,
vote
just
on
watching
the
Trump.
Save America Act, voter ID. You act so good. I love this. He's a great guy. Even though I don't love his girlfriend too much, okay? I won't tell you who the girlfriend is. But I like him, and I've always liked him. It's great that he hasn't changed. But Brian, I think here's the problem. It's not even imaginable to
Maybe
me
I'll
why.
try out a new mic.
And people are angry about it.
Maybe
People
grab
are
something
I'm
on the
talking about
weekend.
Republicans are angry about it. The filibuster should be terminated.
Sorry about that.
If the Democrats
second
ever get
person
a
today
shot,
to say
which
that.
probably, based on history, sometime they will use it in the first minute of the first hour, and they will execute all of the bad things. 21 justices, they really like 21. I heard 13, but they really want 21 Supreme Court justices. And they really want to have D.C. and Puerto Rico become states. That would mean automatic
Thanks for stopping by,
4
JP.
senators go into the Democratic column. And there's not even a chance that they don't do it and do it immediately. Now, with that knowledge, because you could argue whether it's good or bad, but I don't think it's that much of an argument, frankly. But you could argue, with that knowledge that
Can
they're
you at
going to do
least
it
hear Trump?
immediately, why wouldn't you do it as a Republican? Unless you have bad motives
Let me know.
almost. But if we did it, we could pass one bill after the other. We could pass laws and acts and things that we never even dreamt of passing. And you know what else? We wouldn't lose for 50 years. If we terminated the filibuster, we would have a 50-year run. You'd stop cheating. I mean, look, they're professional cheats, and they're great at it. That's what they're best at, because you can't get elected with their policy. You can't get elected with men and women's sports, with transgender mutilization of our children, with open borders for jails to be dropped into our country, and mental institutions, and drug dealers and murderers. Think of it, 11,888 murders come into our country. Nobody even talks to them about it, right? We got a lot of them out because of, you know why? Because of ICE, which they don't want to fund. They're defunding our police. When they defund ICE and with Border Patrol and Secret Service, they're defunding our police. The same thing as they're doing with an officer on the street corner. So why the Republicans Senate doesn't just sit in there and just do it and take a negative vote and do it again and again like the Democrats do. They go again and again. The war power. I'm negotiating a deal with Iran. And every week, every 3 days, they put in a thing that the war should stop, and people ask me, how the hell do you negotiate like that? You're destroying them. Every day I read, think of it, we've militarily decapitated the country. And every day I read about how well they're doing militarily. They got nothing left. They're done. And yet I read in the New York Times, I see in that stupid CNN, which I only watch because you have to watch a little bit of the enemy, so I watch it for a very short period. But you have to be smart. And if you see CNN, you'd think they're winning the war. If you read the New York Times, it's actually seditious, in my opinion. You read the New York Times, you actually think they're winning the war. I read some of these columnists, but it's all starts from the top. It's a terrible thing. So we're negotiating with them, and they read how well they're doing, and they're sitting in a cave, and all their leaders are dead. Everyone's dead around them. Missiles are all over the place. They have no Navy. They have no Air Force. They have no nothing. We can fly right over the middle of Tehran without being shot at because they have no anti-aircraft. They have nothing. And they're reading that they're winning the war. They're trying to figure it out. They get the New York Times, I guess, in some form, and they think we're crazy. But you know, I'm supposed to be negotiating, and they make you negotiate from weakness, not strength. But the difference is I don't care, and everybody knows the facts. We are decimating that country. I got a call today from another country that's more on our side than that, Middle Eastern country, saying, sir, please don't hit them anymore. They're decimated. Please. He's actually helping them. He's actually saying, please. And yet the New York Times will tell you that they're winning the war. It's so sad. I hate to even say that because when I say that, people out watching, they'll say, oh, maybe they are winning the war just by the fact that I'm saying it. And it's so ridiculous. They're being decimated. We have the greatest military in the world. And one thing that's come out of this and Venezuela, some of the things that have happened, I rebuilt the military in my first term and did a good job. And also the first year of this term. We have the greatest military in the world. When I spoke with President Xi, when I spoke with President Putin, I have great respect for what I've done and what our military does. We have a military like no other. You know, when we attacked Venezuela, their equipment, none of it worked. It was all good equipment, but it was discombobulated. You know what that means? They pressed the buttons and nothing happened. They said, what the hell's going on? They heard that weird buzzing sound from way up high. It's amazing how great our military is. And for us to read, it's like the B-2 bombers right there. Late at night, 8 months ago, they went into Iranian territory, and Iran was waiting for them. And they were firing at the wrong targets. They were firing at their planes, but they didn't see them. And with no moon, dark at night, they dropped each plane at 2 bombs, 14 bombs. Every one of those 14 bombs went right down an air chute. Think of it. They followed the beam right into the chute. And every single one of those bombs, very powerful, 200,000-pound bombs, every one of those bombs went right down an air chute. Late at night, think of it, late at night with no moon, you couldn't see a thing. They put those, and they went
Still got that
into
order at
territory. All of a
27,650. Is
sudden, I
it
was
going to make the
watching
move?
Order
it go
filled.
faster.
Get
Then they
some
go
momentum
like
in.
that because the bombs go faster when they head down. I wouldn't want to head down. I'd head up. I'd want to get the hell out of there. And they let the bombs go. And then the first one that let them go was a perfect hit. He said, skedaddle. And that plane turned over on its side. And it went back to a place called Missouri. If you don't mind, Jason.
God's country.
It went back. It wanted to say hello to a very powerful congressman, by the way, from Missouri, Jason. So every one of those bombs. And yet, before they landed, CNN came out with a report that maybe the damage wasn't
make a
that great.
push.
The damage was far
Or maybe
greater.
we stop out.
It was
get a
obliteration.
nice
When the
push up
Atomic
here.
Energy Commission went there 1 week later, they say Trump was right. It was obliteration. And they still haven't been. They've had possession of the site. They haven't been able to do anything with it. That stuff is buried. And the reason I took such I was angry about it was because it's disrespectful to those pilots and those incredible people, including the people that maintain the planes. Those planes had to fly for 37 hours without
Alright, that's not a
stopping.
big
They
enough
got the
push.
tankers, they had 3 tanker lifts, meaning
Something
they had
a little
to
bigger.
get
See if we
refuel
can
up
let
in
the
there. They
next
never
candle
landed.
print.
They went all the way from Missouri to
5
here
seconds.
and then back. Some went to Guam, which there are those that say that was a way
Order
of
filled.
We're out of that.
Because they followed
Still
the ones
might
from,
pump. There
they
you go.
thought the ones
Still
from
pumping.
Guam were not coming. They were going to take it easy at Guam. That didn't work out too well. But that was amazing. And the New York Times and CNN, they said, well, maybe the B-2 attack
We're
wasn't
5
so
minutes
good.
away
Even to
from
this day I hear it.
MOC.
Because we want to get the nuclear dust. It's way down there. You need excavators and everything to get it. But we want to get it. We'll take it one way or the other. We'll get it. We'll either get it or we'll take it. They'll either give it to us or we'll take it. But
See what
I
happens
think
at
it's very
MOC, guys.
disrespectful to our incredible military when they say
Might be huge.
maybe they missed the target. Every single bomb hit the target. Then on top of that, we shot from submarines 30 unbelievable missiles that also hit the target on top of that. It was complete obliteration. And it was confirmed by Atomic Energy. But even the other day I saw on CNN, well, I don't know. They want the stuff, so therefore the bombs didn't hit. Yeah, we want the stuff. It's way buried. But we want to get it. We will get it. It won't even be hard. But they have to respect our military. They have to.
Well, let's wait
If
for
it were a
MOC.
miss, I
It'll show
tell
up on
you,
the left
it
there.
would be fine. It would have done a lot of damage. But these bombs went down the air chutes. They'll
All right, Trump's done. MOC in 2 minutes. All right, 90 seconds from MOC. Let's see if we get any move here. $550 contracts at 27,650. All right, let's see what MOC brings. All right, here we're getting the move here right before MOC, and we have buy side S&P 1.8 billion, Nasdaq buy side 1.8 billion, Dow buy side a billion, Mag 7 1.5 billion buy side. That's insane. All right, we got a decent push back there. Couple points. 36-point candle. You can see the MOC numbers here on the side changing. Mag 7 still mostly buy side. Still got that order at 27,650. All right, Nasdaq has turned to 24 million sell side. Now we're down like 50 points from the highs. Up 0.92% for the day in Nasdaq. Oil's down 1.5%. All right, we're still getting some momentum to the downside. Nice to see Ngia and Carlos made a bunch of money today. That's great. All right, now we're going to push up. Only 17 minutes left. All right. Got 6 minutes left in this session. Not a great time to trade. Alright, let's see if we push down now. It's only like 4 minutes left. I'm not making any more trades. Qualcomm's still up 15% for the day. Eli Lilly's up like 10%. Google's up almost 10%. We got Nvidia pushing down. Meta tells staff not ruling out further layoffs. Alright guys, Apple's making a move. Oh sorry, Google. Google's pumping. Google's pumping. 10%. Up $34. Alright, about a minute left. Huge pump up. That's amazing. Made $44 on the day. Better than losing. It is what it is. Alright, we turned to sell side. Only 20 seconds left though. All right, markets closed. Hope everyone had a successful day today. See you in Asia. But